1810. All revenue bills must originate in the House of Representatives in the US Congress. All revenue bill must originate. All revenue bills must originate. This Congress. The Constitution of the United States of America came into force. George W. Bush is the only president in the actually origination clause, so sometimes called a revenue clause, Article 1. Actually, George Walker Bush served as the 43rd president of the United States. 1 to 9. Walker Bush, George Bush. 46 president including the current one. Joe Biden, whose term began to 2021. 46. One of the US Constitution, the clause says that all bills for raising revenue must start in the US House. Revenue must start in the US House of Representatives. US Senate may propose or concur with amendments. Case of other bills. All bills for raising revenue must start in US House of Representatives. But US Senate may propose or occur with amendments as in the case of other bills. Constitution 98 Amendment. 98 Amendment 2012 Act is related to demarcation of boundaries between state and it is related to Karnataka. State and it is related to Karnataka. It introduced Article 371J in the Indian Constitution. Actually, 98 Amendment 2012 Act is related to demarcation of boundaries between the state and it is related to Karnataka. It introduced Article 371. It introduced Article Indian Constitution. The demarcation of new boundaries between state. Demarcation of new boundaries between state. Demarcation of new boundaries. 98 Amendment 2012 1980 Fifth Schedule and 6th Schedule of Constitution of India made order. The provision of 5th Schedule and 6th Schedule of Constitution of India made order in order to protect the interest of scheduled tribes. 5th Schedule in the Constitution deals with the administration and control of a scheduled area as well as the scheduled tribes residing in any state other than the state of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, not Manipur. 44(1) of the Constitution. 44(1). 6th Schedule Indian Constitution deal with the administration the tribal areas. So Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram to safeguard in the rights of tribal population. So it is mentioned under Article 244(2) and 275(1) of the Constitution. 244(2) and 275(1) of Indian Constitution. Prohibition. Actually, Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act. Statement. As to the Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act 1980, it acts bans all Benami transactions and gives the government the right to recover property Benami without paying any compensation. Property Transaction Act 1988. Transaction. This acts ban all Benami transactions. Gives the government the right to recover property. property held benami without paying any compensation, gives the government the right to recover property held benami without paying compensation. Property transaction is treated as a benign transaction even if the owner of the property is not aware of the transaction. An appellate mechanism has been provided in the form of adjudicating authority and appellate tribunal. An appellate mechanism has been provided in the form of adjudicating authority and appellate tribunal. Form of adjudicating authority and appellate tribunal. Form of adjudicating authority and appellate mechanism. Appellate mechanism has been provided in the form of adjudicating authority and appellate tribunal. Adjudicating authority and appellate tribunal. An appellate mechanism has been provided.